Mythology is filled with monsters, beings of impossible power, terrifying shape, and mysterious origins. But what if some of these creatures were just stories? What if ancient people wrote about things they truly believed they saw? Welcome back to Echoes of Time, where we uncover the hidden, the legendary, and the mysterious. Today, we are re-exploring the top 10 real-life monsters, from mythology creatures so terrifying and so deeply rooted in ancient history that many believe they may have once walked the earth. Let's begin. Number 10. The Wendigo, the monster born from hunger. From the icy forests of North America comes one of the most horrifying creatures in indigenous legend, the Wendigo. Described as gaunt, skeletal, and impossibly tall, the Wendigo represents greed and endless hunger. Its heart is icy cold. Its voice is a chilling cry that echoes through the woods. And worst of all, once a human becomes a Wendigo, they are doomed to hunger forever. Some believe the legend came from real cases of isolation and starvation. Others say the creature may be inspired by sightings of emaciated beasts, wolves, or humans, driven mad by the harsh winter. But even today, people claim to hear its screams in the northern forests, and some swear they've seen its glowing eyes watching from the trees. Number 9. The Kraken, the monster of the deep. Sailors feared one creature above all, the Kraken, a giant sea monster said to drag entire ships under the waves. Early accounts describe tentacles as long as ship masts, eyes as large as dinner plates, and a body so massive it could sink boats just by rising to the surface. For centuries, many believed it was just a myth. But then, scientists discovered the giant squid, and later, the even bigger colossal squid. With hooks on its tentacles, beak-like jaws, and enormous size, it matches ancient descriptions almost perfectly. Maybe the Kraken wasn't a legend after all. Number 8. Cerberus, the guardian of the underworld. In Greek mythology, Cerberus is the terrifying, three-headed dog guarding the gates of the underworld. Each head represents the past, present, and future, and together they prevent the dead from escaping. While a three-headed dog sounds impossible, some historians believe Cerberus may have originated from sightings of giant Molossian war dogs used by ancient armies. These dogs were huge, powerful, and trained to kill. In other regions, ancient art depicts multi-headed animals as symbols of supernatural power, not literal animals, but exaggerated versions of real beasts. Cerberus may be myth, but its inspiration likely came from a very real guardian. War dogs bred for fear. Number 7. The Chimera, a creature of fire and fury. Part lion, part goat, part serpent, breathing fire. The Chimera is one of the most bizarre creatures ever described in mythology. But where did this monster come from? Ancient naturalists believed the Chimera symbolized volcanic activity in Lycia, where mountains emitted fire through cracks in the earth. The lion, goat, and serpent represented the shapes of mountain ranges layered together. Others believe the legend came from early encounters with strange fossils that didn't resemble any known animal. To ancient people, the Chimera wasn't just a monster, it was nature itself, roaring with fire. Number 6. The Leviathan, the sea serpent of chaos. Across the ancient world, in the Bible, Mesopotamia, Canaan, and Egypt, one name appears again and again: Leviathan. A massive sea serpent with armored scales, glowing eyes, and jaws that could swallow ships whole. Ancient texts describe it as undefeatable, untamable, and older than creation itself. Modern historians believe the Leviathan may have been inspired by giant oarfish, which can grow over 35 feet long and ripple like silver dragons through the deep. These creatures rise to the surface during storms or earthquakes, exactly when ancient people saw them most. But others believe the Leviathan is something more, an ancient terror from the deep sea we still haven't discovered. And considering how little of the ocean we've explored, anything is possible. Number 5. Jormungandr, the world serpent. In Norse mythology, Jormungandr is so massive it wraps around the entire world, biting its own tail. While clearly symbolic, this creature likely came from sightings of enormous eels, sea snakes, and deep-sea creatures rising during storms. Vikings traveling across uncharted waters saw things we still struggle to explain today. Some historians think Jormungandr could be based on stories of giant oarfish or massive serpentine shapes seen by sailors far from land. To the Norse, these creatures weren't myths, they were warnings. Proof that the ocean held monsters beyond understanding. Number 4. The Minotaur, half man, half beast. According to myth, the Minotaur lived in a labyrinth beneath Crete, a monstrous creature with the body of a man and the head of a bull. But the legend may have a surprisingly real origin. Archaeologists discovered massive underground structures on Crete that resemble mazes, storage rooms, tunnels, and complexes hard to navigate without guidance. Crete was also home to the Minoan civilization, known for worshipping bulls and performing dangerous bull-leaping rituals. To outsiders, these rituals in underground chambers might have seemed terrifying, especially if they misunderstood what they saw. The Minotaur may not have been real, but the fear that inspired the story definitely was. Number 3. A harpy, the winged stealer. In Greek mythology, harpies were half-woman, half-bird creatures who stole food, kidnapped people, and brought destruction wherever they went. The legend may have come from real birds that stole offerings from temple altars. Giant vultures, eagles, and hawks with massive wingspans could swoop down and snatch objects in seconds. To ancient people, these birds seemed almost supernatural. Over time, the stories grew darker. Birds became monsters. Stealing food became stealing souls. And the harpy was born. Number 2. The griffin, king of the mythical beasts. Half lion, half eagle, the griffin appears across Egypt, Persia, Greece, and Asia. But here's the interesting part. Griffins were often drawn with beaks, wings, and talon-like claws, next to mountains full of gold. In the 1990s, historians proposed something groundbreaking. Ancient miners in Central Asia found Protoceratops fossils, dinosaurs with beak-like mouths and lion-sized bodies near gold deposits. To them, it looked like a real creature guarding treasure. And that's exactly what the griffin is. A myth inspired by bones. And now for number 1, the dragon, the most universal monster in human history. From Europe to China, from the Middle East to South America, cultures separated by oceans all describe dragons. Massive serpents, winged beasts. Creatures breathing fire or commanding water. Protectors, destroyers, ancient beings of power. But how could everyone tell stories of the same creature? There are several theories. 1. Ancient people found dinosaur fossils. Massive skulls and bones appeared everywhere. With no explanation, people imagined beasts to match. 2. Real animals inspired the shape. Crocodiles, giant snakes, and monitor lizards, all terrifying and powerful. 3. Volcanoes and storms inspired the fire-breathing. To ancient people, the earth itself seemed alive. And 4. A collective memory of ancient mega-reptiles. Some scientists believe humans may have preserved an instinctive fear of prehistoric predators. Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. Dragons are the most universal monster ever imagined, and maybe the most real. From sea serpents to winged beasts, fire-breathing dragons to world-wrapping snakes, our ancestors told stories based on the world they saw and the fears they couldn't explain. Whether these creatures truly existed, or whether they were born from bones, storms, or imagination, they shaped cultures, legends, and beliefs for thousands of years. If you enjoyed this journey through ancient mythology, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and comment which creature you want me to explore next. This is Echoes of Time, where legends never die and mysteries live on. Until next time, stay curious, stay aware, and keep listening to the echoes of time. Echoes of Time, signing off.